NHL regular season recap, night 102. We kick things off with a Canadian matchup between the Jets and Maple Leafs, one that's usually not super low scoring, but yesterday it was. Austin Matthews with the only goal coming in overtime. A great performance from both Ilya Samsonov and Laurent Brossoit. Sammy just slightly better in this one. He had some unreal saves. It was a much-needed confidence-building game for him. At least I would assume confidence-building for Brossoit. He's been great all year. This just adds to the list of good performances from him. You need a goal. That's it. 1-0 Leafs. The Panthers taking on the Coyotes, and this one was bound to be a pretty fun little rematch after what happened last time between Nick Cousins, Jason Zucker, etc. And it was. We had some scraps right off the drop, and then from there it was pretty much all Panthers. They scored the first 6 goals of the game. Tkachuk with 2, Reinhart, Bennett, and Lundell all adding to the scoring. Gadjevich as well in the third, before Genther and Cooley both scored to make it 6-2, but never really got close. Florida outshot Arizona 17-5 in the first, which helped them power to victory, and a 3-0 start always helps too. 43-33 the shots in favor of the Panthers. Bob 31 of 33. Vejmelka not a great game, 37-43 in his effort, but a big win for the Cats. They've been on a little bit of, not really a skid, but hadn't been nearly as dominant as they've been earlier in the last couple weeks, but this is a very dominant game from them. 6-2 final. The Bruins and Canes facing off in what's lately been a pretty fun matchup between these two teams for a while. Back in the day, it was pretty lopsided one way or another. Nowadays, it's pretty much even just about every time they play. The Canes scored the first 2 goals in this game, but first 7 minutes of the third, Marchand scores 2 to make it a 2-2 game for the rest of the game, pretty much. In the first, it was Necas and Teravainen, or in the first, it was Necas. Second, it was Teravainen. But with less than 3 minutes to play, Jordan Martinook ends up being the hero of this one, scoring from Teravainen and Aho. It's a 3-2 final in favor of Carolina. Both goalies pretty solid, but Spencer Martin just slightly better than Linus Ullmark tonight. 26 of 28 for him, while Ullmark, goes 30 of 33 in the losing effort. The Avalanche hosting the Capitals, and this one got ugly, man. The Avs were just all over the Caps. It was not close really at any point in the game. Makar becomes the franchise leader in goals for the Avalanche. McKinnon with 4 goals and an assist. Rantanen with a goal and 4 assists. Makar added 2 assists to his goal as well. It was just a dominant performance from the big guys on the Avs, and Georgiev with a .920 save percentage to add to the hat as well. For the Caps, Dylan Strome scores the 2 goals for them. Charlie Lindgren, an .806 save percentage, 25 of 31 for him. Not a great night, but he didn't get a ton of help when you got guys like McKinnon, Rantanen, and Makar just steaming in on you all night long. Tough night for the Caps. Great game for the Avalanche. They dominated this one handily. It's a 6-2 final in favor of Colorado. The Kraken hosting the Chicago Blackhawks, and what better way to snap a little bit of a losing streak than playing Chicago, and Seattle does exactly that tonight. It's another 6-2 final in this one. McCann, Schwartz, and Anderson in the first, Wenberg and Tanev in the second, and then Foligno followed by 2 goals from Tomas Tatar in the third. Form that 6-2 final. Arvid Soderblom, not a good night once again. 22 of 28, a .786 save percentage for him. Joy Decord gets back into his dominant ways. 32 of 34 for a .941 in the winning effort. Chicago getting more shots, but obviously the chances going much more in favor of Seattle, and the scoreboard kind of depicts that pretty clearly. The Canucks hosting St. Louis, and despite a Pius Suter hat trick, they're not able to take home the victory in this one. In the first period, Jake Neighbors and Pavel Buchnevich scored just about 2 minutes apart near the end of the period, about 6 and 5 minutes to play respectively. No goals in the second, and then in the third, Pius Suter turns it on. He scores his first. Torpchenko makes it 3-1 about 2 minutes in. Then he scores another 5 minutes in, and with less than a minute to go, ties it. In the overtime, though, Braden Shen is the hero. A play which you probably could have called interference on Elias Pettersson, getting knocked down in front by Shen, but no luck from the refs on this one, and the Blues win it by a final of 4-3 in overtime. Casey DeSmith not quite good enough in this game, probably his worst of the year to this point, but it's really the only real bad one he's had, so it's hard to complain. He goes 14 for 18, a .778 save percentage. Scholhofer in the winning effort, 29 of 32, good for a .906 save percentage, and of course the victory. Final game of the night, Buffalo visiting Los Angeles, and the Kings are really starting to struggle, man. They go up 3-1 in the first. Kopitar, Kempe, and Dubois all scoring their 15th, 16th, and 10th, respectively. J.J. Peterka gets one sandwiched in there to make it 3-1 after one. In the second, though, Peterka scores his second of the game, then Jack Quinn with his 5th of the year tie it at 3, and then in the third, Alex Tuck and Dylan Cousins in the first 9 minutes of the period make it a 5-3 game, and that's how the score sticks. Devin Levi is the better goalie tonight, 37-40 for him, while Cam Talbot goes just 32 for 37. Again, he has been struggling lately, and those struggles continued tonight. This is a game you have to close out if you're Los Angeles. Again, there's a lot of teams in the West really hunting down these playoff spots. The Kings now no longer in a divisional spot. They're in a wild card spot, and they're starting to slip out of it, man. I mean, there's teams like Calgary, Seattle. I wouldn't count the Wild out just yet. The Predators, like the Blues, are still in the mix. There's too many teams in the hunt for a playoff spot to be losing games this way. It's unacceptable from the Kings. We heard it from Drew Doughty after the game. Just too much bad stuff going on in that locker room right now. And tonight is just another example of it. Big win for the Sabres. Again, I don't know that they're getting back into the playoff spot in the East, but it's a good win for them. A great performance from Devin Levi. Just really a tough game for the Kings, though. 5-3 final for Buffalo. And that's going to be it for NHL regular season recap tonight. 102. Sorry to end it on a bad note for you Kings fans, but I don't know what's going on with this team right now. We'll talk to you guys later tonight. I'm recording this in the morning, so a bunch of games on a Thursday as per usual. We'll talk to you guys soon.